New shit. White therapist tells me I'm letting my mother off the hook again. Pointed, white hook, bewitched index finger. I do not know how to tell her that blaming my mother will not make me better. I know that I pay her $220 a month to stretch open my rib cage and pull out a half heart, a mutilated stomach, and a gut I can't trust. She must do her best to put the pieces together and understand where this all came from. So she rummages through the wilting memories, childhood toy eulogies, and half-sung melodies. We land on my mother. And maybe I'm not describing her well. Her cempasúchil smell, her earnest endeavor to always mean well, white therapist has a PhD in cross-cultural psychology, so I'm sure she gets it. How my paranoia is both mine and my mother's. How brujeria bubbles into my drink like cocktail cauldron, and if I think bad thoughts while I take a sip, they might actually poison me like water for chocolates. See, my mom was only a girl when she birthed me like a good dog. Held universe in her womb like a good god. Yeah, she might be to blame for this festering fear that runs through me, but only in the way that roadkill is to blame for being but an animal crossing its natural path. Mother, I came from your womb and so I am sick. Mother, I am your wound and so I am sick, but not in a way I'd blame you for. See, my blood is yours, and it carries with it your traumatized DNA from a lineage of immigrants. This blood was already poisoned when it reached you. See, if immigrant mother is deer in the headlights, I guess I am but a fawn chasing her through tireless roads and sunset dreams. If the driver were to hit us both, I'm sure I'd die golden in September light. Not a single regret in sight. White therapist tells me I was only a kid, holding the weight of an immigrant family's emotions while mother wept, but wasn't she also a kid? Playing pretend in a house much bigger than our quiet dreams. She has always been my home. Even before doctors untied umbilical cord turned noose around my neck so I could enter this world, white therapist really means well. She just doesn't get that victimhood won't cure me. That maybe brown kids don't need to detach to fight our fury. I cannot point finger at my mother as if she doesn't already blame herself. And so instead I tell her this. Mother, I am your wretched limb. Your half-poetic, blistered twin. It has been a privilege to drown in your dresses until I grew big enough to fill them out, to adorn my brown body with the same jewels and freckles your mother placed in your cold, small hands, even if they come adorned with spells of mental illness. I know I will be your daughter in every life, always worried and tortured and plagued with modern-day diagnoses, but if I am a victim, then your weapon was but a tender kiss, a mother's love inside a fist, crossing country lines for the promise of a life I got to live. I don't blame the North Star for blinding me. I follow it lovingly.